Hello, welcome. This is how you're going to end doom scrolling for good. This is like probably the shortest video I've ever made because it's so simple. And I'm just like you, I've gone through phases where I'm like, I'm not going to use social media. I'm not going to doom scroll. I'm not going to do this because I realized I was wasting so much time doing these certain things that were never going to elevate my life in any way whatsoever and just create more stress and more things in my brain to think about and distract me from my true intentions and goals and desires. And yes, it really is that deep when you're unfocused and you're not using intentional energy and intentional thought and actions, and you're not sitting and thinking and asking yourself questions like these deeper questions of what does your future look like? What do you want it to look like? How are you going to attain that type of future? What can you do on a daily basis? These things, these distractions in a world of distractions are not going to get you any step closer to your dreams, and you're going to be lost and miserable. So to prevent all this, this is what you do. And trust me, this works. This works as long as you do it as much as you possibly can. We are literally training our brain. Okay, first thing, we're aware right now. Okay, we are aware, number one, that you always were scrolling. Okay, you were doom scrolling. Right now, I'm not gonna speak in present because even if you're doing it right now, we're gonna just say that happened in the past. It's done. In this present moment, you're not doing it. Okay, you did it maybe 2 seconds ago, but not right now. So you did it a lot in the past. Okay, and now what we're gonna do is how we fixed it, or how we're fixing it, is we're aware of it. Number one. Number two, what you're gonna do is we're gonna actually do this act of, I think I named it something, but I don't know, let's just call it the Taj method. So we're gonna go, and now you're gonna go intentionally into an app like TikTok. So I'm gonna click on TikTok. Okay, once I click on TikTok, I'm just gonna like be there for a minute, or a minute's too long. I'm gonna be there for like a second, and I'm gonna say no, like out loud, say no, and exit out and clear the whatever the tab. Sometimes I forget to do that and I have like 50 million tabs open, but so we're gonna go through all of them and we're gonna do this continuously. So how it looks like, I don't want to demonstrate because I feel like it'll look stupid, whatever. So I click on TikTok, I'm here, no, X'd, okay, it's out, again, no, okay. So what that does is, and obviously I'm not like an expert on neuroscience and anything, although I love learning about neuroscience and all this, but what that does is it trains a part of your brain to be resistant to short-term attention, short-term dopamine, and all of that. So you're literally strengthening the part of your brain to reject short-term dopamine. So again, click on it, no. Okay, let's say I want to go on Instagram. Okay, great, I'm on Instagram right now. Amazing. So obviously the reels, no. Okay, so I do this like so many times a day, like throughout the day, and obviously not in public because no one wants to see me go no on my phone, but do this as much as you possibly can, because you're literally training yourself to just open no. And let's say you want to search something up on TikTok, like, I mean, there are great things that you can learn from TikTok. I was searching up how to make cacao lattes. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to search this up. So I go in with that intention of, I'm going to search this up. Now, it's like a battlefield. Think of it as like a battlefield. You're entering it, okay? You have this certain intention and end goal, and you're going to enter in, and all you think about is just that thing you're going to search up. Forget everything else that's going on in the app, all the craziness. You go in, search, you find a video, scroll through a couple videos. Once you get your result, you're immediately out of there, in and out, like that, okay? So just do that, like just have that thing playing in your mind. Like as I was searching up, I was like thinking, okay, cacao latte, cacao latte, cacao latte. And I go in, I do it, out. And that's how I do it. Because here's the thing, I realized like you can't, for me personally, because I do social media and I'm doing all this stuff, like I can't delete it. And I think also the thing is, like, if you take breaks, okay, and you are completely cutting things out of your life, in all areas of my life, whenever I've cut things out completely, especially things that are just a part of how life is. Like, we live in a capitalistic world, you know, all these things are part of our lives, and as is everyone else's. You have to learn how to live with it instead of just taking a large, massive break, because at the end of the day, it's going to slowly start seeping into your life. So I think having that restraint that you build within yourself is the most powerful thing you can do, and you can apply this in so many areas. Like, any bad things that you're doing in your life, you just are aware as you're going through, and you snap out of it and you say no. And I also want to talk about something else. Okay, so on my laptop, I literally don't have, I use this extension that I've installed, and it blocks all the YouTube for you whatever videos, it blocks all the comments, it blocks all the recommended videos, it blocks Facebook, it blocks Instagram. I do have access to Pinterest. I love Pinterest, never blocking Pinterest. And it just blocks a bunch of these things, and that limits my access on my laptop to certain things that would, again, like, it leeches into your attention, or it leeches your attention, and you're just mindlessly like a zombie just getting all that dopamine. That's just how our brain works, and it's so insane to think how these social media companies are doing so much to just get our attention, which is the most valuable resource. It's bigger than time, money. It's the most important thing. What you give your attention to is so important, because your thoughts create reality. What you give attention to is inherently going to be your thoughts, and then therefore your reality is created through whatever you're feeling. And most things that we see are not great things. Like, if you're on TikTok, some videos you're going to see are so happy and great, yay, and then you scroll and then you're going to see something really sad, and then something's going to anger you, and it's just too many emotions you're feeling all at once, which then makes you like numb, and it's not a good thing. And obviously do more research on that on your end. But I promise you, I know it sounds kind of silly, maybe you haven't heard of this, maybe you have, but if you haven't, I put you on, and trust me, this is the best way to not succumb to doom scrolling. Like, use it as a resource. It's my resource. I post my content. If I need to find something, I go intentionally searching for it. Other than that, no, I'm out. And I do other things like reading. I'm trying to get better at chess. I'm trying to solve the Rubik's Cube under a minute. Trying to just get more into writing. I'm actually writing a book. I know, I'm writing a book. I'm so excited. I plan on publishing it next year, or maybe in 2 years, but it's like it's a short excerpt type of book. So I was thinking of writing like a romance novel, but I think I'm gonna wait that one out just because I want to stick to something else. So, and the funny thing is, I've always wanted to write a book in my life. And I remember when I was like 12 or something, I was a big fan of Dork Diaries. I don't know if you know what that series is, but it's about this girl and, you know, her middle school encounters and everything. And I wrote like an like a Temu off-brand version of that. And I actually wrote like 20 pages, and I pretty much copied the entire writing and the entire everything, but just used different characters. And my main character's name was Sermonica. I don't know where that came from. Her sister was named Selra. There's Luke, and I made Luke like Luke from Percy Jackson. He was like the same guy. So funny. And yeah, so I realized I've always had a knack for writing, and I've always enjoyed it. But I think going through school, like, what I do in terms of writing, for me, it's not always going to be rhetorical analysis, grammatically the most correct. And then like, I feel like I kind of lost that passion and that desire through like all this structured stuff that, you know, school teaches us, but I'm rekindling that back in my life. And I will say I'm so grateful that in school, like, I didn't care for any of the English reading, whatever things, like, that never stopped my passion for reading. And I love to read, but I don't care about analyzing the whatever themes and stuff that we had to do. So I feel like it's really, really important, side note, but I think it's really important to, once you stop doing all the social media stuff and doom scrolling and everything that you might be doing, it's important to rekindle those passions that maybe were lost through this system that is so objective and so like structured and ordered. And that's not, I think, how we function as human beings. I'm a creative person. I'm not going to just you know what I mean? Like there are things that I do for myself, books I read because I want to understand my own self through the author's writing and the language and the tone, and like I want to get my own perceptions from the book, and it's going to be different than yours. I don't want to follow a structured this is what they meant to say type of thing. As you can see, I'm kind of passionate about this because I feel like too many young kids don't read, mainly because of, you know, short-term attention span, but also with that, like I think people's passions and their desire and that spark for reading dim down because of, again, just the forced structure and the force, like this is what you need to get out of this book, you have to read this book even if you're not interested in the topic or the genre, because I feel like not everyone should be like, books and reading should be fun. It should be like, yes, I want to learn and grow. So yeah, I know I went on a little bit of a tangent there, but apply that and I think it's going to be amazing, and you're going to have so much free time to do things that you like and do. You can watch my other videos on like what to do instead of doom scrolling. I have pretty good ones. If I were to add anything to that list, I would say, again, get yourself a Rubik's Cube, go sub a minute. I feel like that's such a flex and such a skill to have. And along with that though, don't go and just play video games or something else instead of this. I feel like you should learn like really good skills. Like if you're a gamer and if you play video games, go play chess, learn chess, right? Because you're going to learn a lot more strategy and a lot more of these really great life skills that you can learn. And so I think it's really all about using those skills. Like start a business, okay? If you play video games, start a business and understand like how you can literally make money online. Okay, so there's so many great things and skills that you can learn instead of doom scrolling. So apply it, and honestly just apply it as much as you possibly can. And I think sometimes though, right, like we just forget. It's fine. Like I forgot so many things in life, like these good habits that I start you, when you forget and you don't actually apply in your life and you're not intentional about it, you're gonna just go back to zero, right? So what you need to do is make sure that whenever you're intentional, whenever you're like, okay, well, let me make that part of my brain stronger, where I can say like the resistance part of your brain to these bad habits, then you're like, okay, wait, so let me just go on TikTok and just say no a couple of times. And you do that consistently. And I've done this recently, so I can't attest to doing this for years or something, but I think I just really want to share it because I feel like so many of us need to practice more restraint, just because we have great things that we're going to do in life, but stuff like this get in the way of really harnessing and activating your full potential. So yeah, I hope that this was a good watch for you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.